Hi everyone, so it was my birthday back in November and I haven't done a birthday book haul yet. So here we are. I have seven books to show you guys. 3 of them are from publishers and 4 of them are ones that I bought myself. I managed to restrain myself. I went into the Waterstones and wanted to buy everything that was there. But then I told myself that I should probably just stick to my most anticipated releases of the year. And then I only ended up impulse buying 1 book. So it didn't go too badly. I was seriously considering doing like 26 books for when I turned 26. But then I decided that was probably being a bit over the top and I'm not going to read 26 books in the next couple of months. So I probably shouldn't do that. I will start off with the ones I got from the publishers because I have the least to say about them. I think 2 of these were unsolicited and 1 of them is one that I requested. The first one is one that came out in May and it's only just arrived, so I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure if it maybe got lost in the post and took ages to arrive at my place, but here we are. That is The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. It says it's the first book in an epic new fantasy series. It's about 5 main characters who come from 5 different nations and there's some sort of war or ruling class or something. I think there are demons in this book and alliances and interesting things, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Probably won't get to it in December, but I might try to read it in January because I feel like it's been long enough. The next one is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. If you watched my recent video about books that I didn't finish, you will know that Skyward was on there, but the publisher still sent me a really pretty hardback copy and I feel kind of bad because I didn't like the book. I didn't request this and I am very grateful that the publisher sent it to me, but I might end up doing a giveaway because I feel like someone else will appreciate this hardcover more than I would. In case you didn't know, this is a book about a main character whose father was a pilot and she wants to follow in his footsteps, but the only thing is she's not allowed into the academy because her father was classed as a coward and a traitor. If you do want to know my in-depth thoughts about this, then go and check out my video about books I didn't finish because I go into quite a bit of detail about this one. And then there's Empress of All Seasons. I mentioned this in my December TBR. You probably already know what this is about. It's about a main character who has to fight her way through 4 rooms in an attempt to win the contest to marry the Emperor and then I think kill him. It sounds really good. It's one that I have been wanting to read for ages. I received an e-arc of it actually a few months ago, but I didn't actually get to it. So I'll try to do that in December. And then the next 4 books are ones that I'm really excited about and I can't wait to read them. I didn't put them in my December TBR just because I have too many of my own books that I owned previously, like prior to my birthday, that I need to read. So I will probably be putting all of these on my January TBR. First book is Disappearance at Devil's Rock by Paul Tremblay, who wrote that other book, The Cabin at the End of the World, which I read in the summer and I loved it. If this book is anything like that, then I'm going to love this as well because The Cabin at the End of the World was very intense and the ending just left me reeling. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's about a woman whose teenage son goes missing in the woods and people come together and try to find him, and it's about the search, I think. And it says here that the search grows more desperate and the implications of what happens become more haunting and sinister and no one is prepared for the shocking truth about that night and Tommy's disappearance at Devil's Rock. The next one is Empire of Sand. This is a medieval Indian inspired fantasy about a main character who is basically from 2 worlds. Her father is part of the ruling class and her mother is someone whose people have been kind of ruled over. The Emperor's mystics hear of this main character for some reason and they try to force her into an arranged marriage in an attempt to kind of control her. I'm not sure if it's the first in a series, but I think it sounds really, really good, and the author on Twitter is also really nice, which, you know, always helps. I think this is the debut for this year, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've just realised that 4 of these 7 books are actually Asian or African-inspired fantasy. Clearly I'm in the mood for something that's not medieval England. The next one I'm dying to read, and that is The Poppy War. Everyone has been talking about this book and I held off until my birthday to buy it because I have amazing self-control, guys. I don't know how I have done this. This is a Chinese-inspired historical fantasy about a main character who was raised by opium smugglers and she joins the military academy and shit goes down from there. I've heard that this book is very, very dark. There are like tons of trigger warnings. This is the first in the series and I am absolutely dying to read it. I don't know if I can hold off until January, but I'm going to try. And finally, the last book that I bought was a hardcover because that's the only thing that was available to me. Normally I would go for a paperback, but hardcover it is, and that is The City of Brass. This is set in 18th century Egypt, and the main character wants to leave Cairo, which is where there are jinn and spirits and other magical beings, and I'm not really sure why she wants to leave, but I think she's kind of had enough of it. And I think this just sounds very mystical and magical, and everyone has been raving about this one as well as The Poppy War. I think they came out around a similar time and everyone just freaked out. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I mainly bought it because Twitter was going crazy for it, and also I need to recap it for Recap Tins because the second book is out in January or February. One of the two. So I really do need to read this one soon. It's a massive, hefty book, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So those are all the books that I got for my birthday. I think I'm going to do reviews on most of these, if there's enough to talk about. Most certainly the Poppy War, because I think that's probably a good one to discuss, and maybe the City of Brass, depending on how that one turns out. Let me know if you're interested in reviews of any of these in particular, because I want to read all of them, and I will very soon because I'm super excited, but I need to know which ones to prioritise. That's it. Thank you everyone for watching my video, and hopefully I'll be back soonish with another book haul, but I might save that until maybe like February so I can get rid of some of these books first. Thanks again, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye.